And along with those expanded economic opportunities and broad prosperity, the 20th century brought another major shift in the culture towards greater racial and gender social equality. Racial integration, hard fought and ugly, but it largely happened. More visibility and equality for LGBTQ people. And hell, by the early 21st century, we even got a black president and damn near had a woman twice. It certainly wasn't perfect, but we became modern. And modern ain't so good for oligarchs. What we are seeing in all of this chaos is a fight to repeal the 20th century. Sam Alito may be the most viciously vocal about hating that century, but trust me, a lot of them on the right do. Have you read Project 2025? It should be called Project 1825. But the far right has a problem, and it is this. How do you get a modern society to give back all the advancements? Americans who've gotten used to letting the invisible, undocumented people do all the hard work in the factories and the fields, or our economy mostly runs on consumption, on buying those cheap imported goods and enjoying relative prosperity. Even our poor folks often have cell phones. How do you get people to go back to a time when working class people often died poor, uneducated, and sick, with only whatever they could scrimp together and save on their own for retirement? No social safety net, relying on religious charities to eat, while the super rich left their fortunes, again, to their heirs, untaxed. How do we get people to go back to the Gilded Age? How do you get people to go back to labor having few or no rights? Women having few or no rights, even over their own bodies, dying of sepsis because they're having a miscarriage, or being thrown into prison for having an abortion, or doctors too afraid to treat them. Black folks and brown folks being openly discriminated against when looking for jobs, education, or opportunities, or grants. Children living unvaccinated with no protections against the measles, the mumps, or COVID. People just doing their own home experiments to try to cure deadly diseases that were dealt with decades ago. What if more of them come back? Are we so gone on conspiracy theories and reality TV that we'll just go along with it? With stripping ourselves of everything modern and go back to a pre-20th century age just so a handful of super wealthy right-wing ideologues don't have to see drag queens or hear Spanish in public? How do we get Americans to go back, to give up the benefits of health care, a decent retirement, unionized labor, women's rights, gay rights, civil rights? How do you go back to racial and gender hierarchy when whole generations of us have grown up without it? Well, it helps to make people afraid.